Now, Paulo's from Portugal Telecom. They have a very mature API platform. They expose the most APIs of any telco. And on a per subscriber basis, I think there's maybe one other telco on the planet that approaches the volume of API transactions per month that they achieve. So they're definitely one to watch. And with that, I'll hand over to you, Paulo.
Thank you, Alan. Good morning and welcome. I would like to start by thank you, Alan, for organizing the TADSummit. Quite a very important initiative, in my opinion. So I'm going to present something that I try to be a bit provocative, and so I hope that can stimulate somehow your brains. So let's have a look on the different two ways that today we have to deliver services into the market. So we have the federated model used by telcos, and then we have the walled garden model used by over-the-top players. And for federation, we really need well-defined standards. And standards, of course, the purpose is to enable full interoperability worldwide. But to reach agreements for standardizations, it takes a long time and lots of effort. And standardization really doesn't promote the differentiation between telcos. But we are trying hard, and we are producing more and more standards. And at the end, in order to be fully compliant with standards, solutions are really complex, and they cost a lot to deploy, to integrate, to maintain. But we still have very good assets to exploit, like identity management, trust, security in general. The market recognizes that we are able to deliver reliable services, but developers, they don't like us. On the other side, we have the over-the-top. They know how to deal with developers, how to drive big and creative developer communities. And they are leading the innovation. This big community of developers also help them to be more competitive, more agile in the market. And another aspect is that over-the-tops really don't concern too much with standards. And very often they build their own solutions. But of course there are also some problems. They follow a walled garden model, which prevents to have full interoperability between users from different domains. And if I want to move from one service provider, over-the-top service provider, to another, it's quite impossible to take my identity and data with me. And if I want to be in touch with users from other domains, I have to have accounts in different service providers, and also applications installed in my devices. And they also have some issues with privacy and security. So it's time to rethink, to think about new service delivery models that allows full interoperability without requiring federation, that is able to sustain small service providers in the market, giving more power to users, let them control their identity and data, use new service paradigms that like web microservices that are security associated with users, and use new concepts like protocol on the fly that enables interoperability without requiring big standards. And also this new model should enable the usage of new technologies like software-defined networks, without requiring to increase too much the complexity of the network. And also this new model should really improve user experience, consistent user experience, avoiding the need to move from app to app. At the end, this new model also requires a change of the DNA of telcos. So I invite you to have a look on this new project, a Resync project, where we are thinking about new service delivery models. We are going to provide in open source next year a reference implementation of this service delivery model. So please have a look. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you, Paulo. Any questions for Paulo? If not, oh yeah, I'll just squeeze through here. Excuse me, Moshe.
Thanks, Alan. Hi, good morning, Paulo. Kumi Thruchal from WSO2 Telco. So I was intrigued by your comments about legacy networks and software-defined networks. Why do you think that future software-defined networks won't be as complex, or how do you hope to reduce complexity in SDN and NFV-based networks of the future?
Okay, very good question. Yes, so the approach that we are looking for is really an approach where we are having the service logic closer to the user. So this means that the user device will have lots of the service logic, and also the ability to move this service logic around different devices. And so this will reduce the need to have the service logic in the network. So we minimize as much as possible the software that is running the service logic in the network. So in this way, we really be able to focus on the network what is really needed. And in this case, it will be really like software-defined networks. For example, we should minimize, in our perspective, the usage of orchestration as much as possible. That's something that we see that will increase a lot the complexity of the network.
Excellent. A round of applause for Paulo, please.